Right. So let me discuss in detail about the regular expression, because in JavaScript, regular expressions will play a vital role over here. So it is very important to understand this regular expressions here. So what you can do is, I'll just do one thing here. A regular expression is a sequence of characters that going to be follow a search pattern. So this going to be following means it forms a search pattern, that forms a search patterns, in the sense it is going to be making that the search pattern can be used for text search or text replacement operations. Now this search pattern you are going to using over here for a sequence of characters that forms a search pattern to search anything in a text or in a paragraph or in a file. We are going to using this regular expression. The syntax for regular expression is here: slash pattern slash modifiers. Now example, where PATT, so PATT is a variable name, followed by, here we are using slash W3 schools slash I, where W3 schools is called as pattern, I is called as modifier. Okay, so there is a explanation what here in the bottom it is giving. That is, W3 schools is a pattern, W3 schools slash I is an regular expression. So where I is a pattern over there. And not only this, we can make sure we can search with the help of, we can search this with the help of the search methods. We can also search, we can use the search methods also. Right, we can search this also, the search pattern. So if you are observe, this is a search pattern method uses an expression to search for a match or returns the position of the match. Now another is the replacement of one pattern to another pattern. So this is a source pattern, this is a destination pattern, we can replace it. We can also split the pattern, we can use the method for matching a particular pattern. See the example here, I'm taking a string literal, that is visit W3 schools. Inside this one, if you want to search for that, whether the particular substring or a particular character is available or not. See, for example, W3 schools. Here in this string literal, W is a capital, S is a capital, right? So both are capital here. But in this pattern searching, that is in this pattern, both are small letters. But even though, because you are using I modifier, modifier I is a case insensitive, even though it is a small, it will search in that particular string, str dot search of this regular expression you have to give. So in this regular expression, it will match in the str, it returns a true value. Similarly, see the another example, visit Microsoft, this is a string. In this one, we are replacing str dot replace of, in place of, this is the first regular expression, in place of Microsoft, we are replacing with W3 schools. Now, what is the output of the first example here is, the result in n is will be 6, because 6 means what? The starting pattern. This is the pattern W3 school. In this string, where it is the starting position, VISIT space. So how many characters? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Visit is 5. Space is 6. So it is starting from, it is considered as from 6th onwards. From this position 6th onwards, it will be starts with W3 schools. It will be starts over there. So because the string storing as array point, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th position is capital W. So for second output, second example, the result of this one is visit, instead of Microsoft, visit W3 schools. Okay. And coming to the modifiers is very important. Please focus on this one. Please focus on this regular expression modifiers. So these modifiers are going to be using for small I is, as I said you just know, case insensitive. G is going to be search for global match. Global match in the sense, not only in the local, it will be searched in the global as well. Small m, it will allow you for multi-line matchings as well. So regular expressions patterns, how we can be represented is, these are the regular expression modifiers, I, G, M, like this. Now coming to the patterns. Patterns in the sense, if the range, if you want a range of characters, we can specify with the help of brackets. Now, if you want ABC, find any character between the brackets, means between, it will starts with ABC, or whatever the characters in between the square brackets, it will search for that. 0 to 9, in between the range 0 to 9, X or Y, alternative. We can use like this also. Not only this, we have some little bit of meta characters as well. So meta characters will tell you what we need to do. Means here indirectly what we can say is, indirectly if you want to be see this one, we can find out whether this or the some of the another what we can say modifiers. So small d indicates find a particular digit is there or not. Where we can use this finding a digit, when you are entering asking for enter a mobile number in an application form, if other than mobile number like 0 to 9, other than if you are entered any alphabetic or any other extra symbols, special symbols, then it will find out that. So to check whether the given number is a mobile number only or 10 digits or not, whether it is a digits or not, we can use the modifier, the meta character slash d. S indicates white space characters. Like we are saying, there is no spaces between the first name and last name. Like this, when we call at some positions, or else in the emails there is no spaces. In that particular cases, we can use this white spaces slash s. And b from the beginning of the word. So find the match at the beginning of the word. Say for example, if you are using in the square brackets a as a regular pattern here in this one, and you are saying a modifier as b here, so it indicates it starts with the pattern has to start with the small a. That is a b modifier. We are saying that within the square brackets, whatever the regular pattern we have, this will start with small e. And find Unicode character specified by here. Unicode you can use after the u. You can use, you can find out this also. Cap indicates match at the starting of the input string. Starting in the sense, if you are using cap here, the starting words. If you are using dollar means here at the starting of this, if you are using dollar means it is a ending. Ending characters ends with small a. Star indicates 0 or more characters. You can use the star 0 or more characters. Plus symbol 0 or more times you can use it. Question mark 0 or 1. If you want n number of times or 3 times, 4 times if you want to search, you can use in the flower brackets n. Capital D indicates except anything digits, except anything, that is match anything except for digits. So small d indicates find a digit, capital D indicates except digits, it will find match for anything. Small w alphabetic to check whether alphabetic and underscore in variable declarations or in the usernames to check for the small w. Capital W match anything except alphanumeric and underscore, opposite of this one, similar to small d and capital D. So small s previously it is a white spaces, so it is capital S except it will match anything except white spaces. So small d is capital D, small w capital W, small s capital S. And dots indicates create a set of characters, like we can use the ranges like 0 to 9 or d to g. And cap hyphens here we can make sure if the starting characters is a different range from d to q, if you want to specify the match it starts with this one, you can use cap d hyphen q, that is the range. Hyphen indicates range over here. And we have the quantifiers as well, like n plus, n star, n question mark. We can also use the quantifiers. Match any string that contains at least one n. Match any string that contains 0 or more occurrence of n if you're using star. Match any string that contains 0 or 1 occurrence after the n, right?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, there are some students waiting in the waiting room, sir.
Yeah, they please convey the message to contact the NIVA office because of some technical issue is there. Tell them to please contact to NIVA help.
Okay,
Okay.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Right. So regular expressions next, this regular expression object is there. So this regular expression objects, how we are going to checking? Like in the Java, we have the classes are there. We are for the class, we are creating objects. So to test whether the regular expression is properly there or not, we are using the method called as test, or we can use execute, exec. So the test method is a regular expression method. What we'll need to do is it searches the string for a pattern and returns true or false depending on the results. If it is found, if the test is correct, if the expression is correct, then it returns true, or else returns false value. So example such as here pattern E. Now E is a, here we are going to making, is a total is a regular expression. Among this E is a pattern, right? So pat dot test, we are testing that the best things in life are free. Means for this pattern P dot, we are testing whether E is there or not. Like this we are testing here. So if it is found E, then it returns true value because already it is there E. In the best E is there. In life E is there, or E is there, in the free E is there. Or simply instead of pattern, directly we can use slash the directly regular expression dot test. It is also be true. So since E is an the string, the output of the code will be written true value. So we can test the regular expressions with the help of text function method or exe method. So let me see small examples on this regular expressions and the variables so that we can get some idea over here. So here I'll show you an examples on variables. Let me talk about this. So if you observe carefully here, in this one, here the body already I have said you, we can use the JavaScripts in uh, head, in body, and save as a external JavaScript. Now here what we are doing is script here starting and ending. So inside the body we are using the script. Now I am finding a position for a paragraph and giving ID as demo. In this position, I like to be display a variable value. So how to declare a variable in JavaScript? Var. Var is a keyword. Space, length is a variable name. Next, length equal to 6, I am assigning a value for this. So at this position, I want to display that. So document dot get element. So how I am going to be calling that get element is by through ID. So ID. What is ID name here? Demo. So that demo has to pass inside this one. Dot where I need to display inside the HTML. That is inner HTML. Right. Now what we are doing is just we are assigning to this particular inside the inner HTML at the position of ID demo. I am assigning this length. So at this position, the length value that is 6 will be displayed. Let me run this program. Now see the output. It is 6. Right? Hope it is visible. This is 6 over here at this position. If you are not assigned that, if you are not assigning this one, simply like for example, if you are changing or else the value of length is. So even at this position, it will display as 6 only because at this place, or else you can display normal. Okay, fine. Because I'm saving in another file and I'm running another HTML page, right? So that's why. Okay, now I'll run the program. The value of length is 6. Okay. At this position, 6 value will be displayed. Now another example, if you want, on the operators. Let me see another examples on operators. So how we are assigning the operators? Here the which type of JavaScript we are using? Inside the body. Body here we are using the JavaScript. So at some position, I like to be display some addition of some computation steps. So I'm declaring 3 variables where x, y, z. I'm assigning x equal to 5, y equal to 6, z equal to x plus y into 10. So the sum of this, that is x plus y is 11 into 10. That is 110 has to displayed at the demo position. Right. Now just save the program. Save as the .html. Because you are running the JavaScript, but when you are running the JavaScript, you are using the script inside the body of the HTML. That's why we need to save the file as .html. Don't forget it. Just run the program. So see here, values 1 time. So examples, it is displaying in the sense. So in Java script, we can use the comments less than exclamatory, 2 hyphens, followed by any number of comments you can use it. At the end, ends with 2 hyphens greater than symbol. So this is how we can mention the comments in JavaScript. It starts within the tags less than exclamatory mark, 2 hyphens, followed by the comment, whatever we required, any number of lines. At the end of the comment, 2 hyphens greater than 7. So this is how we can make the comments. If you refresh comments there, and the value is 110. Okay. And if you want to see on arrays, here we have the example. I am declaring, this is in the body, I am using the script. In the script, I am writing a variable of array cars equal to Saab, Volvo, BMW, right? Now at this position, what I am doing is in the HTML, I am displaying cars of 0. What is the position value of cars of 0? Saab, because the 0th position has an array. 1 is Volvo, 2 is BMW. Just save the program, run it. Arrays, see, Saab. Because already I said you that comments can be written in the JavaScript as less than exclamatory mark, less than exclamatory mark, 2 hyphens, and ends with 2 hyphens greater than 7. So if you are changing as 1, this is whole way, right? There is examples on arrays. Okay. So we have examples on regular expressions. Let me discuss that also after discussing the concepts called as functions. Okay. So let me start the functions. Before going to that one, please remember the regular expressions, whatever we had discussed is very important. Okay. Fine. So let me discuss about the JavaScript functions. So JavaScript functions, let me talk about that. So JavaScript functions is exploring like the concept we are discussing inside this one is defining and invoking function. These are the subheadings. Hope you please try to write down this. Defining and invoking a function, followed by defining function arguments, defining a return statement, defining function scope and closures, calling functions with timer. Okay. So these are the subheadings we are going to talking over in the functions. Defining and invoking a function, defining function arguments, defining a return statement, defining function scope and closures, calling functions with timer. So these are the things we are going to discussing in JavaScript functions. Okay. Now let me discuss about the functions first of all. Function, already you have aware, a function is a module or a routine or some set of statements will be combined in a block. That block is called as functions. Now code structure, just splitting the code into parts. So each part will be called as function. So data comes in, process it, results and return. How normally we are using, for example, for an average function. Here in JavaScript, as I said you earlier, it is using the function keyword followed by the name of the function. This is the name. Followed by, like in other programming languages, we have a parameters. ABC is a parameters over here. Parameters. Okay. Now here in this block, so this block is a opening and closing the function. Here I am using a variable called as total. Just I am calculating a plus b plus c and dividing total by 3. So it returns that the average of a plus b plus c will be written, right? That's how we can discuss this. So these are the parameters come here. These are the declarations and value written here. And function arguments return values. Functions are not written to a return value. Functions are not required to return a value. So always it is not mandatory. Every function has to return something, right? So when calling function, it is not obligatory to specify all its arguments. The function can access all the arguments passed via arguments array. The meaning here is directly here in this example, alert of sum of 1 comma 2 4, that is we are calling. So automatically it will calls this function here. It is call now sum equal to 0 for I less than 0, I less than arguments dot length I++. So in JavaScript, everything, the input will be treated as a strings. So again, we need to be convert into some type of the data what we required. That is parseInt. Like we have the parsers in JavaScript, parseInt for converting. Now when you are giving outside outside of alert of, this is means alert of sum of 1 comma 2 comma 4, if you are giving externally the inputs, you can read that inputs one after the other. So in C programming, in the main functions, like when you're talking about the files, we have argc and argv. Hope you remember, where argc talks about the number of arguments count, where argv talks about the argument vector, where from the command prompt we are reading the inputs. So to calculate from outside the arguments dot length, the how many number of the inputs you are giving, that means the length, the loop will be repeated. Each argument will be converted whatever the argument you are giving. For example, one, if you are giving one, is converted it is coming as a string, and again we are converting it to the integer and sum to this. Similarly for the next iteration like this, the number of inputs, it is 3. If you are giving, the loop will repeat it for 3 times, so each time it is adding for sum. Okay, so in the same style it also be working over there. And as I said you earlier, we have the methods like functions alert to pop up, and to confirm we have a function called as confirm function, and to alert, give a alert message. To prompt, to reading the inputs, we can use the prompt method. Already we have discussed. Now see one example, the sum of numbers, how we can be do it. The sum of two numbers, it is going to be doing here. This is the script we are writing in the head. In the head I am writing the script. Now in the body I am calling the function called as call sum. Say for example, now let me see the body also. In this body I am just creating a form. Inside the form I am giving two inputs, two text fields, text box 1, text box 2. I am also creating one button. When I click the button, on click JavaScript, it is going to calling call sum. It will call sum. So it will calls that function call sum once you click on that particular button. Now input text name text box. If you want, you can use this also. But up to now, here two text fields I am going to create it, and one button. Once of entering the details in this text box 1, this text field 1 and text field 2, once I click on that, on click on the particular button, that is process, name of the button is process here. Once I click it, it will be calculate that one. So once it is clicked, it will goes to the function definition. Like in other programming languages already are aware, calling a function, call it function. So calling function will from the main, and call it function is the definition. So in this definition, it call the call sum val1 equal to. So it is sending, right? So already I said you, JavaScript will be treated as everything as a string. Again, we have to convert into in respect to data what we required. So parts int of document dot main form dot text box 1 dot value. So from where I need to get the value. Hope if you remember the forms, how we are accessing the values from a form in the previous example. What is the name of the form? Main form, where the form is actually in the document. So that's why if you are observe carefully, document means in the main in the HTML dot name of the form is main form dot text box 1 dot, we need to get it text box 1 dot this value. So here the value will be there. Here you are entering in this HTML, you are entering here, that is 1. So this is text box 2, this is 1 text box, this is text box 2, right? So from there it is accessing. So document dot main form dot text box 1 dot value, that will be read and convert into integer and store in value 1. Similarly we are getting text box 2. So from the HTML in the form main form, in the field text box 1 2, that value, and convert into integer and store it. That 1 and 2, if you are giving sum equal to 1 plus 2, that is 3, it will be stored. And it has to display somewhere, right? So where it is display, document dot main form dot text box sum dot value. So in the main form, where is text box sum, here is the text box sum. At this position, it will display the sum of these two numbers is 3. That is how we can be call one after the other. So the prompt will be acting as like this. The prompt will look like this: OK button, cancel button, and there is a text field where we can enter the inputs here. So for this example, price equal to prompt of enter the price, 10. By default, the 10 value you have given, the second parameter. If you are entering anything here, so it will calculate the VAT, price plus VAT, that is equal to this plus price into 1.2. That is 10 into 1.2 is H1. It will display that one. So default value you can give, or else you can change the value by deleting that. Okay. So in this example, what we have seen is how we can declare a function, how we can call the functions with the help of the arguments, how what it will returns, what are the other pop-up methods or functions like alert, confirm, prompt we have seen one example over this. But coming to the actual topics, whatever we have discussed, that is defining and invoking a function, defining a function argument. Roughly for a glance, I am giving over there. But as a part of this, if you see the part of this, if you are seeing over here, let me discuss this subheadings as well. Okay. Now these are the subheadings as per for you, right? So coming to the first topic, here JavaScript functions, as I said you, it will be a block of code designed to perform a particular task. JavaScript function is executed when something invokes it, means calls it, and it performs the repetitive tasks such as displaying a message or whatever the task you are writing inside the code. Inside the code, whatever you are writing, that will be called, that will be displayed over there. And in JavaScript functions, they're divided into two categories: functions with parameters, without parameters. So built-in functions, we have alert, prompt, confirm, eval, that is evaluating the expressions. Okay. And is finite, is non, parse in, parse float, number, like this. These are the some of the functions are available. So parse int already we have seen just now. Parse float, if you want to float values to convert a string into float. Number also be there. Escape, like unescape, all this. Coming to the first heading, defining and invoking function. This is a theoretical part. Please go through that. Theoretical in the sense explanation for that. So already you are aware how to declare a function in JavaScript with the help of function keyword followed by name of the function followed by parameter 1, 2, 3 like this. So inside the between open braces and close braces, the code will be available over there. The second topic, defining function arguments. How to define the function arguments within the parentheses. Here argument 1, argument 2, argument 3 like this we can call it. How to define a return function? Just with the help of a return space value. Like this we can return it. And this is one example. Just now I have explained you how it will be written, that also. The same example. And next topic, defining function scope and closures. Function scope is already are aware local variables and global variables. Local means within the block, open braces to close braces. If you want to access outside, it have to define as global. Now a scope refers to an area within the function and it is variables or accessible. So how much way we can access the variables defined with the help of global and local. Global means anywhere function can be called or accessed from anywhere in the program. Local means can access only within the parent's functions. Closure is a variable that is created inside a function and continues to exist after the function has finished executing. There is only one difference between local and local will be end before the closing bracket, but closure is finishing the execution. Unless it will finish, it will not be closed. That is a closure scope. Now if you see the examples over here in this one, in the body I'm just writing a creating a button. On click my function, I'm calling a my function. Once I click the button, it will call the function. So my function here is a var a equal to 4. So add. So I'm calling again in the function one more function called as add. It will call the definition of function add. Function add document.getElement by id demo.inner html equal to a plus a. A plus a means what? Here a plus a default it is not there. Where a equal to 4 means inside it is going to call it. Now it's end of the add function, end of this one. But when you see the output, what is the output of this program? When you click me here, it will be calls because it is inside here. For this add function, a equal to 4, it is global for add, but it is local for my function. So where a equal to 4 is local for my function, where for add function, because inside the my function you are again calling add function. For inside the add function, you are going to be accessing a plus a. So here for the add function, a variable is a global because it is coming from outside in the sense from my function. So that's why For add function, a variable is a global. For my function, a variable is a local. Clear? Because the scope has defining like that. Okay, are you getting? So calling next topic, calling functions with timers. So timers functions also be there, like to set it. So set timeout method executes a code at a specific interval. The syntax for timeout is set timeout function comma delay time. So function, we can write any specific functionality once the timeout is completed with the help of the first parameter. Delay time is how much time the timing has to set for this to set out the timing. See the example. In the body, I'm going to be creating a form here. Inside, I'm creating a button and calling a timed message function. So in the timed function, message function, set timeout of alert of 5 seconds. It gives alert for 5 seconds. So another is timer. So I'm giving 5 seconds over here. 5000 means here's 5 seconds I'm giving. For every 5 seconds, it will display the alert message like this. It will get a window pop up like this. So one more method we have, that is clear method. One more method we have, that is clear method. So clear timeout method is clearing the times. Set interval, if you want to set the interval between how it will display. See the example. For if you set interval alert of this. So for every time interval over here. So for example, if you see the code, here I am calling the timed message. For every, the previous program is for every 5 second automatically it will be. The time interval here we are setting as thousands milliseconds. So it will display the message as 1 second over here. And the last function over here is clear interval. So clear interval, like we are setting timer. For set timeout, we have a function called as clear timeout. For set interval, we have a function called as clear interval. So opposite of that, when you set, you clear. So set timeout, clear timeout. Set interval, clear interval. So like this, we can have the functions over this. Okay. So these are the some of the examples programs for in the functions, and let me run little bit of the functions over here. So let me run on functions so that you can understand a little bit more over this. So I'll go for first functions. I'll open the code. See here in this functions ID demo. So this is the body. So always no need to be explained every time the body of the HTML, right? So this is the body. So inside the body, I'm writing a script. What I'm writing in the script, I'm inside here. So who is going to be calling this function? So if you are writing inside the body, automatically it will call the scripts. So nobody will need to call the function, because where you're writing the script, if you are writing inside the head or outside the HTML file that is saving as a .js, we need to call that particular script. But when you're writing inside the body, automatically whenever after the flow, it's a normal execution flow. First will be executed H2, next will executed P, next will executed this P. Automatically the script will comes. As the line, one by one lines of execution is going on, whenever this line will encounter, trigger, automatically the script will be run. So no need to be anybody call my function, need to call it my function. So here my function automatically will executed because you return the script inside the body. So my function of p1 comma p2. So return p1 into p2. Now what you are returning here, see document dot get element by id of demo dot inner html equal to, here I am calling a function, my function of 4 comma 3. So 4 comma 3 is the parameters, where in the p1 4 will map, in p2 3 will be mapped. So 4 into 3, that is 12 will be written over there. Okay, so if you want, just save the program as .html. So already I have saved it, no issue. Already it's there. Just run the program. See JavaScript functions. The example calls a perform the calculation, returns the result, that is 12. If you want, you can change the values also. 14 into 3. Save, refresh. This is 42. Okay. Another examples on functions, close scope and closure. Let me see that. Scope just now has said, we have discussed the example. Inside here in the body, I'm writing the script. So name of the function is my function. So who is calling here? So in the main in the body, I'm creating a button. When I click on that button, my function will be called. The name of the button is click me, right? So it will be called this function. So when my function will call, it declare a variable a equal to 4. And again in my function, I am calling another function, that is add. Once it is called, inside document.getElementById by id demo dot inner HTML equal to a plus a. That is 4 plus 4. 8 has to display out. So just run the program, see the output. So here is the button, that is click me. Once you click on, it will display 8. So if you want to change the values over here, you can change also. You can use 14, for example. Refresh, click me, 14 plus 14, 28. See another examples on timers. So in timer function, just now we have see set timeout, clear timeout, set interval, clear interval. So in this body, I am creating a form. I am creating a two buttons. One is for set out and is for set interval. So set timeout is one button. So timed message one, the function will call. When I click set out button, set T out. T out means timer out. For set interval, when I click a timed message two will be function will call. What I am doing in the set timed message one, I am making set timeout alert for 5 seconds. In message 2, when I'm clicking the second button, it will interval for every 1 second. So let me run the program. So here the two buttons, set timeout, can count 5 seconds. Once 5 seconds is done, it is 5 seconds. Okay. If you want to make a time intervals, over a time intervals when you want, if you want to make a time intervals, you can make set time interval. So only 1 millisecond. So for every 1 millisecond, it will be displayed as okay, that is 1 second. So I'm just clicking okay, okay, okay here, because for every 1 second, whereas set timer out is only one time for 5 seconds. Set interval means for every 1 second, it will be display the alert box for every 1 second. So there is a difference between set timer out, set interval. So set timer out will be setting, we have set a time and it will be display message for 5 seconds only one time. Whereas in the set interval, for every 5 seconds, it is displaying the same message for every 1 second. So what is the interval timing we have decided as 1 second. So if you increase to 2 seconds or 3 seconds, it will alert for 3 seconds. Just I'm changing the code, run the program. I'm just set timeout. I'm click it, countdown 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So for a second, 5 second timeout. Set interval 1, 2, 3. So 3 seconds. For every 3 seconds, it'll come. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. For every 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Like this, it will display that. Okay. So for every 3 seconds, it will display in the same fashion. So that are the examples where we have talk about the functions. So in this class, we have discussed in detail about detailed informations about the regular expressions, as well as the concepts in JavaScript, as well as we have discussed about the functions. Like these are the concept. So with the help of this regular expressions and functions, you please, I will share the material and the programs which is supported for this JavaScript up to these two topics. You please practice the week 3, week 4. You please open the week 4 and start doing with the help of regular expressions. At least tried it for the next class. You please tried it. What are there will be consisting over there, right? So please tried it so that you can get some idea. Here the program. Here it is, the week sample program. JavaScript code to validate the following fields. First name, last name is there in your 1C program, week 1C program. So you please tried it for this user ID, password, and date of birth, mobile number, email ID. So please apply your regular expressions. Please start trying for writing the JavaScripts for at least for in the next class, complete A, B. Or at least for A, B, please complete it. Okay. In case at least for C also. So that's about for today.